Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included, and this is my away team prep on hard mode. Essentially, this is my second attempt at this. Last time did not go well, ran out of food. So all the hard game settings are on. I wanted an asteroid that I'm not familiar with, so I'm going to shake it up so it's not the same asteroid as last time. Let me just find something here that may do. Don't want metal poor, that's one rule. Very metal rich. I want to try to avoid. Here we go. Let's go. That we'll have geoids. Let's give this a go. Hopefully this time I'm going to be planting food a little bit stronger earlier on. All right, so same dupe as last time. The only difference is name the colony. This time is Dear Oxygen Away Team 2. We'll see how we do. Very curious. Okay, a little bit of water above our head. So we don't want that to fall on us. Do the standard setup and we'll begin. So disable, disinfect, cut some break out of my schedule. Let's have a quick look around. Coolness down here. We got some water and polluted water. I did like the idea of throwing polluted water on top of this guy. Though, maybe in this case, just fill in tiles instead. Just to prevent too much polluted oxygen from popped eardrums. So yeah, we've got just 5 pieces of excellent fruit. Oh no, actually we might have more. So that we need to get food growing before that runs out. Unlike last time, we need to get food growing much easier. But we also still have to worry about oxylite running out as well, since we're breathing twice the amount than normal dupes. Let's just, before I begin, look to see. We've got polluted water, we've got cool slush, salt, and cool carbon dioxide. All right, I'll make a plan and we'll start off. So first decision has been made. Do we go left or right? There's a little bit of granite on this side, so we're going to actually go this direction. I also want access to a little bit of metal, so we'll go this far. We'll plan our barracks and latrine. Just digging out some metal, and I see a saltwater geyser over here. So we're going to create our barracks, our latrine, put some doors in between. Also have some doors over at this end just to keep any shine bugs from getting too close to our barracks. So trying to come up with a plan with what I'm going to do with this water. For now, we're just going to put a pitcher pump into it, but I'm thinking of actually lowering it down here to getting a pitcher pump flat with right next to what will be our laboratory. But for now, let's just get some water so we can fill our wash basin to try to avoid getting sick. The wash basin didn't quite get filled, but that will be filled up next cycle. Getting a manual generator, battery, and a laboratory built. Next priority is to get an oxygen system. I'd also like to get in this little Pip here's combined, so maybe priority of getting them out. There we go. Look around to see if there's any other Pips in the same situation. You're fine. You're definitely gonna be fine. Oh, and you are not good. Make a plan to get up to you. Dig out some of this excellent food so we can start to see how many calories we've got kicking around. Okay, 25,000 calories. Got a waterweed that could go after. Trips are growing wild. We're going to take a quick break from our oxygen system to go over and just get this water start flowing away from this waterweed so it can start to grow. But we've got 4 waterweeds down here, which is really nice. It's a little bit below oxygen area, but actually, hold on. We dig down here quickly. That might be beneficial just from oxygen flowing up. And now we've got another waterweed. We did get our feet wet in that process, but I think that will be worth it. So I'm just reasoned that because I essentially died from lack of food last time, we'll open up this little pocket of oxylite towards the base. But instead of researching air systems right now, we'll take a little bit of a break. And we'll try to block off this guy. Mostly because we've got waterweed in here. In fact, I think, yeah, this guy's too hot. But if we block this off early enough, I think we'll be able to get these, was there 2 in here? No, there's 4. 4 that we could get growing. Plus, there's a whole bunch over here, though. To be honest, I might not be able to do anything about these. Oh, actually, I could do something about these guys. At least half of them. So we'll get a bunch of waterweed growing. And the other thing is there's 2 rules. First of all, we're not printing any other dupes. But we can only print things that I already have access to. Pretty sure I have access to acorn. The fact that I've got it... okay, well, what I'm going to do is just make sure I have access to it. Let's do a dig right there. That will allow me to be able to see. Other than that, we'll do walking up in that little zone. But anytime I print anything, I'm not going to allow myself to print something unless I've seen it before. So we should get a new acorn message there. Now I'm able to print that. Okay, back to this plan up here to block this guy off. So we can keep some wild waterweed growing. The downside to this might be stress. Getting our feet wet early on. Though, actually, it might be more to do with collecting the lettuce, but it's better than starving, I'm thinking. We'll see. So now we've got this way to get up here, but I don't want to go up here while this guy's going off and getting burned. So we're just going to start doing our research project on air systems, and I'll watch this guy to see if maybe it will become safe to block this guy off. We may have our moment to interrupt research. So 22,000 calories, eating 2,000 each cycle. Let's go up here in the hydrogen area to try to build this as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, I can't dig through any granite. There's only so much igneous rock, so it's going to be a bit of a walk back and forth to get what we need. 7% stress. This is definitely a toasty environment. This is going to cause me some stress, but having the waterweed earlier hopefully will make the difference. Let's just finish the job off by having that put in there. May have to finish this next cycle, or oof, no. You know what? That's fine. We can finish that. And it doesn't matter whether this guy is going off in the morning. Just trying to block this guy off. Okay, so we've done that. That means we've got technically to do about this. Be one or the other. Oh, we can't dig through granite anyway. I need to now consider whether we do so. I think we will. I'll try to find a path to get these waterweeds growing. So yet before we complete our air systems research, we're gonna first build a tile right here, just so that we don't have some of this liquid that I'm gonna be falling down here, having it backsplash towards our base. But if I dig this out, we're gonna have at least, I think, 4 more pieces of wild waterweed to be able to survive off of. And why are you doing this? Let's just interrupt. There we go. Just 2 more pieces to go. Stress is much higher than this time than last time. Quick little snack break, and then we'll have that little bit of sand out of the way. Okay, this should bring these water weeds to life. Fortunately, if it wasn't for that piece, I'd get at least 1 more. But I guess that is oh, we have some over here. Oh, there's a bunch. Okay, there's a lot of water weed growing. I think that is going to do it for that. Let's get back to our air system research. There we go, charging up the batteries. So research has been complete on air systems. We're going to put electrolyzer right here so we can get some hydrogen flowing up in this zone. Shortly after that, we'll probably be researching a ventilation. Oh, we may need that ladder there too. We got ourselves stuck up here, just 2 tiles away. Take that out. You can find your cot now. Just 1 last little piece of pipe. And we should see some water flowing up towards our electrolyzer. So now we're making oxygen. Just going to dig this out for hydrogen storage. Build a pump up there later on. And I've got 2 rules. So again, no printing dupes, but also no taking any resources I don't already have access to. So I already have access to oxyfurnace, so we can take that. So going after some hexalent plant in here. Well, hydrogen's not too high up in here, and also trying to build this again for the same reason. Cycle 8, and we reached that little bit of hexalent, taking us up to 23,000 calories. So going down here to dig out all the hexalent fruit to allow me to see how many calories we've got, and then we'll make a plan from there. Probably towards farming, but we'll see. Currently 42. Oh, taking a quick break. We'll find out here in a second how many calories we're going to get before we have to do some either wild farming or regular farming. 45,000. Okay, so last time I got hard digging first, and this time I'm going to get advanced research first. And the thing, or well, what I'd like to research is farming hydroponic plants, but we're going to need to do advanced research for that. So we'll start that up. I'm hoping this will go much better. I think last Asteroid 2, I had more granite around, so I'm kind of lucky in that sense that I don't need the granite as much. I think this might be a much nicer asteroid, at least to start off with. Advanced research is complete, so I'm going to build the supercomputer on this side, closer to where there's water, and I'm going to do some digging down there so we can access dirt close to our basic research station sitting right there. And we'll start on our agriculture research. So we're doing the research, but I don't think I'm going to be able to fully complete this until I get the next skill, because even if I can access salt water and build hydroponic farms, I still need ability to dig out bleach down. But maybe by the time all this is done, we'll get our ability to dig that out, and this will we'll have a farm. So now we've got the technology for hydroponic plants. I'm just taking a quick moment to build a second outhouse available for us. Just opening up a path down here for carbon dioxide. So you're technically fine with the size that you are. So this is what I've got for a plan. We're waiting for a skill upgrade. We can do a little bit of research, built a plan for a farm. But what we got to do is, as soon as we get the ability to go through granite, collect enough seeds for waterweeds. We're going to find some in these buried objects. We need access to salt water. We need access to bleachstone, place to grow some farming. And then we'll be in situation of both making our own oxygen, but also making our own food. So about 20 cycles of food left in the middle of building our farm. And I'm going to be watching our skill point. Shouldn't be too long till we'll get a new skill point where we can dig through granite. See, some pips have been busy planting in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to build this wall before any pips come back in. Make a priority of getting this side done as well. Okay, we've gotten as far as we can for now. But we'll start building a pipe to feed this guy. Might as well bring in power too, because once we build a pump in there, we'll need power. Just putting in this little thing here so pips can't get in from the top, which would allow me to be able to dig that out and dig that out, so pips can be free to get around. I literally checked this at the point we're 5204, 5204. So I'm assuming in like any literally a second, we will get the ability to dig through granite, and I can start to make a plan to go in here. I'm going to go around the granite for now, and actually the priority more is to find waterweed seeds, so let's start looking for that first. So now we're looking for waterweed seed. We've got, have we seen this before? Actually, maybe I should put that in my count. 1, 6. We've got 4. Type of seed. There we go. There's 5. And there is 6. No need to go any further, though maybe we will go there, just so we can access that wild plant in the future. Digging out a path to some bleachstone and some access to some salt water. We'll get that pump going here very soon. Pip, you might want to get it out. We've reached cycle 15, and this is all about building our saltwater line to send liquid up here. And we'll replace this with bleachstone storage, and we'll start planting. And there is our saltwater pump. Just 2 more pieces, or 3 of wiring. Should start to see the salt water starting to flow. Doing a little bit of advanced power regulation research while we've got our liquid coming in. Running on the wheel. And I think we'll start planting. I think, yeah, I can plant even before liquid is on there. It just won't actually grow. For some reason it's saying there's only 4. Probably because pips are picking up our seed. I never even thought. Pips picking up our seeds. Shoot. We'll have to go search for it. Oh, and I have to think. I'd get my feet wet in this process. Is it worth the harvest? Probably. So we are planting our first seed here. That's not going to grow until this overflows. I do see a little bit of lettuce over here, so maybe we'll make this a priority. But I want to try to harvest that with not getting my feet wet. So let's interrupt this little stage here. Why are we going in this direction? Supplying farming material. Oh! Yeah, need bleachstone. Fair enough. We put bleachstone storage here in the middle. So that's bleachstone. Did we ever put in our... We've got our piping. And that has been blocked up. Usually it doesn't work that way. That's a little unfortunate. So that might mean that we're forced to do this for a short period of time. And check this out. A little bit of dirt, sure. Use that for research. A bit of harvesting happening here. So we've got 4,800 calories just from that. And we're going to fill this in. So this guy's still not growing because it needs to be exposed to salt water. That's why I'm building this right here. So our salt water flowing, we can get rid of that liquid vent. If we have an outhouse that needs to be unplugged. Oh, what's going on? Ah, power. Let's bring, I guess, the outhouse as soon as that. We've got a backup outhouse. Let's do this first. We need to get this flowing. So we want to grow this. The plan is every even cycle to plant something. There we go. We've got our first plant in our farm growing along. This doesn't, let's just make sure that that's above. Yeah, it is. Now cut that. Take that out. And we'll put in our bleach stone storage. Cycle 17. And we are working on our advanced power regulation. We'll probably put a power plant somewhere down here. That produces a little bit of heat, so in this cooler area, probably be perfect for that. We are getting nasty shine bugs keeping us up, which is unfortunate. I think that adds, yeah, too bright. It's adding to our stress level. Okay, so cycle 18. It's even. Oh, we're on the wheel. Let's take that back to priority 5, and I should be up here planting first thing. We've got our second waterweed. Probably just needs a little bit of bleach down. Where are you going now? Maybe I up the priority to 7 on this. And storage bleach down to an 8. You could reconsider your bleach down going into here. Okay, so now we got 2 plants growing. This first one's at 15%, and this one is just started. So with our second plant growing, I'm building a pipe down here for hydrogen. So we're going to put our hydrogen generator way at the bottom, next to the cold. And we're going to put 2 jumbo batteries right next to that. I think once that guy runs out, we'll probably attack him. 60% stress though. Oh my. High stress. So to try to bring down stress, just brought in a little bit of a downtime and extra sleep time. See if that helps. Cycle 19, and hopefully be able to get a hydrogen generator. Time the cycle's done. Cycle 20, I want to plant this waterweed right here. Where am I going? Going to harvest, hold on. I was thinking of harvesting here, but that means I'm going to get my feet wet. I'm at 58% stress. I just need to consider if that makes sense or not. So, just made the decision. We're going to build our hydrogen generator. The idea of trying to get off the manual generator. And as soon as that's built, we've got enough spare calories of excellent fruit. I'll just decide whether I build a bridge over here to access this guy, or we have an awkward way to get up here. Either way, I think we're going to get our feet wet. Actually, we have more wild plants I could try to get out, though I'd get very wet if I tried to do that. Anyway, we'll build this first and we'll see what we get. So now I'm going to connect this up so we can load in hydrogen. We'll have some smart or larger batteries, jumbo batteries. Let's disable. I think we're at the point where maybe we can get off the manual generator, which would be really awesome. I don't want to burn too much hydrogen though. So, oh, we don't actually have a connection down here. I'll connect this, but for the very shortest period of time. Probably, literally, especially since we only have one battery at the moment. Let's disconnect that. That is charged that, and we'll get some larger batteries to be able to take advantage of in a moment. So we've got our hydrogen generator. I've disconnected this guy for the moment. We got some jumbo batteries to take in some of the spare power. Next goal is to get access to some wild waterweed that's over here. Build a little bridge to get across. Oh, why are you standing in liquid there? Probably getting, yeah, soaked feet. Shoot. Probably it's a priority of taking that out first. Since your feet are wet anyways, maybe we should mop that up. I don't know if that's going to take that liquid away, though. No, we're good. And since your feet are soggy, I almost think I'd want to send you over to the other area, but nah. Let's continue on building this bridge. So I'm doing a little harvest right here, so giving us a little bit of lettuce that we can eat over the next little bit. Let's just bring that closer to the center of the base for the time being. Before you leave, let's grab that, shall we? Nice. So, with a little bit of lettuce sitting right here, keeps offering me dirt. We'll do some research. Beginning next cycle, we'll do a little bit of planting. Cycle 22, and let's plant our fourth plant. That's going to need some. Going to research. Hold on, you should be going up to do bleach down first. Let's have a quick look. So, a new plant. We've got 16, 33, and 49. And we're going to research a little bit of fire poles, smart batteries, other automation to be able to not have to reconnect and reconnect all the time. Charge up our batteries a little bit. Schedule of a little bit of sleeping in the morning. This brought stress down just slightly. We go to farming. So that's the disadvantage of having a farm. But my plan for this cycle is to see if we can reach this lettuce without getting our feet wet. Getting close to this piece of lettuce. So now I can click on this piece here, bring that close by, and just bump ourselves to be able to pick that up. Excellent. And we did that without getting our feet wet, which 59% stress is important. Just doing a little bit of mining of bleach down. 63 kilograms at the moment. And then we'll start installing our fire pole. Another even cycle, so I'm expecting to have this planted in here. Where are we going? Oh, lights. What are you doing with that? Or, how did organic get selected? That's supposed to be just bleached down. Whoops. Okay, and sometimes they run away, so they don't realize that there's a high priority task of putting bleach stone in. So let's do that. And now we've got our new plant, 17, 33, 50, and 66. Excellent. Bleach stone reserves over 400 now. Gonna do fire pole and then figure we'll continue on with it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's not waste hydrogen. We've got to get our smart battery research in very soon. So with another skill point available, I'm going to give more carrying. It's going to allow me to pick up more metal and other things to carry along. Increasing our strength. Joyous seed. We don't have any of those, so click that. And picking up a waterweed seed over here. This is the last one we have to plant. Probably have to interrupt and then again. We're going to do a dig. No, I want you to put bleach stone in here. And we have all our plants in place. Our new one in 16, 33, 49, 67, and 82. Now we can open the doors because I don't care if the pips walk through anymore. The plan today is to build a rock crusher down here. So at this point, we have almost 20,000 calories of lettuce. That's not from the farm. We haven't gotten anything from the farm yet. That's from wild pieces. Here. It's going to go bad pretty quickly. So I've stopped construction of the rock crusher. Well, rock crusher exists, but I'm going to go over here and build a fridge. Start storing that. I put this in this location so that it's close to this farm, as well as close to the central area where I'll look for food in the future. Just a few pieces of wiring needed. Hopefully going to be out. They might not. We'll start putting in lettuce. I might, to try to get this done, or some lettuce in the fridge. Why don't we just shift everything over a bit? Not getting our feet wet there. Nice. A little bit of carbon dioxide and oxygen, unfortunately, right there. Let's just do that. The other thing we could do is push that right there just to try to get carbon dioxide filling that fridge. In fact, our schedule, let's see if we can get away with getting a little bit more done. Do that. Need to use that house though. I still have oxygen, unfortunately. I might have to wait for the next cycle. A little bit of lettuce sitting in the fridge using the rock crusher so we can start the process of automating. So I'm running the rock crusher. Just looking to see when power needs to be added down here. And first, a little bit of automation right next to the rock crusher. We'll go and find a little bit more local metal in the area. Cycle 29. I almost wonder if maybe need to harvest in here, but next goal is to get a smart battery. Try to produce enough metal for that. And we're having lights that turn off when we leave. Nice. And it is now time for the smart battery to be built. Waste my hydrogen, so we'll cut that for a moment. So that automation line is in. We also have to start dealing with the carbon dioxide that's been building up. So this is the first day with my dupe, my second attempt today. Going much better, calories much higher. What I'm going to end up with research, we're going to do a liquid reservoir. Pretty sure next time I'm going to build a pump down here, but I'll also consider my options between them. Anyways, we'll continue on. Right now, we've got lots of lettuce in the fridge. In fact, I see some of it has gone rotten. In fact, to avoid that from turning to polluted stuff, maybe we'll kick that out. But I might actually disable harvest for the moment, just to make that last a little bit longer. And also, I guess, to save a tiny little bit of labor there, too. So this is day 2 of 1 dupe on hard mode. And just before I begin today, I just want to let you know that I'm live streaming on a regular basis. If you happen to be on Twitch and you want to support me, you can add me at Oxygen over there, currently up to 15 followers. As well, if you haven't subscribed on this channel, Oxygen on YouTube, this is where I'm going to put all the highlights of this and other adventures. Okay, let's get to it. So next thing I want to do is doing some morale boosters, including creating a washroom. Also want access to the mesh tile. So we'll start that research. So we're going to start off with a great halt now that we've got the ability to make mesh tiling. I'm going to actually dig this out so that all the material can fall down so we won't have debris in the room. Actually good decor from those trees, I'd say, but we'll plant our own. I think we got more seeds around. Cycle 32, making some progress. So at the end of cycle 32, we have created ourselves a great hall. Just putting in a little bit of automation. Just going to move this water cooler over by 1. And then we'll be able to move on to the next morale booster. And we're enjoying our great hall. Just curious, one more plant to go, but where did we get in terms of decor? We're at plus 80, sitting right there at the moment. We don't actually need liquid in there. Now that we've got our great hall with automated lights, I'm going to try to make a nature reserve. I'd love to... Oh, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to build this quick enough. Trap this guy in. No. Figure out how to get a pip in there. I'll have to have the door open. Make that high priority. I don't know if I'm going to be lucky enough, but maybe I'll... Well, I actually do need to fill that in. Nice. Well, I didn't mean to actually lock it. There we go. We got a pip trapped in here, and I can start planting for a nature reserve. So we've got our trap pip here. I'm just going to remove some of the plants around. Probably going to be fighting with some of the pips as they plant, but we'll also bring in some of the seeds. Maybe do that high priority. I guess we'll do that to start the next cycle. So while I'm waiting for this pip to plant some mealwood, I'm going to dig out a spot. Same little plan I'm going to dig underneath so all the material is out of the area. So we'll have a clean place for our future washroom. So we are installing our washroom. And realize that we didn't actually complete research to be able to convert polluted water to water, so we'll do that. It may take a little bit, but we'll have a nice washroom when we're complete. Let's just check out our calories of lettuce. 5,000, that's awesome. We're eating 2,000 calories each cycle. We've had a little bit of lettuce go bad on us, so I'm going to harvest a single plant. Should be a high priority task of sending that in our fridge. There we go. So now we got 6,000 calories of lettuce. Perfect. So we can start on piping. We're going to, at priority order, load water that comes from this guy here into our water setup. I think the only thing I forgot is this guy needs a little bit of power, so connect that in. And then after all this is complete, we'll have a washroom. Pretty certain that this pip's blocked off from some of the plants here, so we'll do a temporary uprooting. Just that Pip can do its 4th plant. Watch this guy, see if we can get a piece of mealwood right here to connect into our future nature reserve. I'm pretty sure we just caught a Pip. I could be wrong. Planting. Amazing. Okay, so we've got 4 plants right there. With that, let's start to bring these guys back. So we've technically lost our Great Hall in the meantime. Awesome. And we can open that door. Join a shower, though that's going to become backed up pretty soon. First time using the lavatory here. Just noticed oxygen levels is getting really low. I'm wondering if how much airflow tiles. I don't want to open this up too much because that's where well, actually, if I did this and this, and we rip this down, plus we also have a little bit too much hydrogen as well, but I don't think that's a problem at the very moment, and we'll convert these to tiling like this. I think we got to pivot for just a short amount of time to get this done. So we'll have a breathable area. Oh, and we cannot access the fridge. That's going to be critical. So our calories have gone down a bit. Maybe take this out too, just for the airflow purposes. Didn't realize. Oh, get another follower. Thank you. Let me see. The other thing I feel like we should do is open this up. Though we got, the problem is that I've got that water in the way. Okay, we'll see what this does. And a little ladder here and here. And we can open that up and that up. It could also be the hydrogen that's blocking this guy off. Come on, I need to think. So, I just reasoned that we've got too much hydrogen. This really wasn't a problem until now. And the only real difference I can see is the hydrogen level is just kind of touching this guy, and it's just kind of blocking him off. So, it's going to take a bit of time to research the gas reservoir, so I'm thinking, why don't we just wrap a pipe up and down? In fact, we might, a little bit of oxylite would be cool, mallow seed. I'm pretty sure I've not seen mallow. No, not taking any objects that I haven't come into contact with. So take that out and get this pipe built. So getting the first little section flowing, I don't know that that's going to do a whole lot. So I just reasoned with myself, why not build a second electrolyzer down here where the air is a little bit thinner, and that's going to be our priority task. So we need the mesh tile. Fortunately, we're getting a mix of carbon and oxygen there. But at least we've got our electrolyzer, second one set up. That one also being locked off from pressure every now and then, but at least it's closer to the center of the base. So, just trying to put in a nature reserve down here, and just notice we're a little bit short on metal, so we have to do some digging. I do want eventually to go through obsidian. We're getting close to halfway to the next point to be able to do that, so that we can go open up fully some geysers. We'll do that later on. Hopefully with this little setup, we'll have a nature reserve. Just taking a moment where these batteries are low to get... Actually, that's going to give me some metal back. Didn't even think. That's awesome. We've got in another electrolyzer here, so we can get rid of this guy just so that we can complete our nature reserve. But oxygen levels are looking much better. So now we have a nature reserve. We've fixed... Oh, technically the fridge is in the nature reserve. Didn't really plan to be that way. I mean, it's technically fine. Well, lots of oxygen in here. That's probably making our lettuce go bad quicker. Tool change. Yeah, normal atmosphere. Let's address that situation. So with our nature reserve and other morale buildings all created, I'm going to do some insulation down here, but I think we need to address some of the gas situation. There's the hydrogen here, but I think the higher priority thing is the lack of carbon dioxide in this fridge. And to do that, I'm just going to research portable gases. So we're going to build our carbon dioxide pump down here. Let's bring in some power for this pump. Open up that. Store some carbon dioxide in this canister filler. And to solve the hydrogen situation, let's get some a gas reservoir together. We should see... why don't we? Oh, whoops. Let's complete this at high priority. Now we've got carbon dioxide flowing up here. We'll let that fill up a little bit. We'll take a bottle from here, empty it up by our fridge. I'm going to try this little trick of empty... I don't have to get the dupe to do it. But what I want to do is high priority. Locate this over here. Let's go move that. Let's take this. Not the refrigerator, the carbon dioxide. Oh, there's no open... Oh, okay, I did not realize that. I need a canister emptier, which needs metal. And I don't have a lot of metal. Pop, pop. Okay, new plan. I'll just do it this way. Should have just done this way when we start. Pushing carbon dioxide into this zone. Just dig that out just a little bit and put this system back so we can technically step in there. I think that's going to be enough carbon dioxide. Let's this go like that, and then reconnect this to go into this guy. So while this research is going on, we're being exposed to that terrible hydrogen. Let's fix this situation soon. So with this research, I'm going to put in a hydrogen storage here. And hopefully that's going to remove the hydrogen that's been building up far too much. I was a little tempted to burn it away in the hydrogen generator. I just feel like that's a waste. This will solve, at least for now, our hydrogen problem. Let's do a little disconnect right there. Might as well do this as well. Okay. So with the hydrogen problem solved, or solving itself now, I'd like to take this water out before it melts and have it stored over here. And then we'll start what I think is going to be our installation project. Here is cycle 50. Awesome. So stress 30%. 15,000 calories of lettuce. Let's double check we have carbon dioxide there. We do. We're putting in our liquid reservoir here. Oh, I guess we need 2 pieces of wiring. Awesome. And that water is moving. And I don't mind spending the power because I know we've got lots of hydrogen. So this installation project can begin here in a moment, and I'm suspecting that's going to have a lot of digging. So what I'm going to do is give out an extra digging skill. That's also going to give us the ability to go through obsidian once we look for some geysers. My system is working too well. I did not consider that we did not have the... Oh, that's a mess. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and we can't remove individual pieces. Wow, okay. We also probably have a mix of oxygen in here. Okay, I think we just destroyed all our 9 hydrogen. Actually, you know what? I might just make a new line anyway. Going like this, but I have to worry about the fact that I'm going to get, before I connect this, trying to convince some of that oxygen to get out. So starting cycle 51 without any power, no hydrogen going down here. I don't think we're in a situation of needing a manual generator though. Should be enough oxygen in the air. And this is just some simple piping. Shouldn't take too long, I'm hoping. Okay, so we've got this flowing out. Fortunately, I'm going to have to kick a few more pieces of oxygen. Work this way, see how far we can get. Why don't we, since we've got a little bit of hydrogen there, let me just disconnect this just to keep the lights of things on. Does mean I'm going to have to make another T here. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll burn so fast it won't matter. So giving up on the idea of trying to push oxygen out of individual little packets there instead. I'm just going to do some filtering. And we've got our filter, making sure we just consume some of that and the oxygen can just go out over here. And our installation project has begun. To get to this end of this slide here. Now we're going over towards this piece of bisylite. We're getting towards cycle 55, and I think we'll be able to start the actual installation pretty soon. So here is my plan for a little bit of insulation. We're going to create, where we can, easily some vacuum tiles. So we're going to dig down and fill in. So there's a vacuum tile there. Just going to be careful not to dig or build under something like that might go away, like ice. Just choosing my spots carefully. in these spots, and we could take these out. And we're getting vacuum tiles all along this way for here. Nice. Getting a little bit more progress towards our bacillite. And we've reached this bacillite wall. We just... Perfect. Awesome. So we have covered... I might have missed something, but looks like we're... Oh, missed right there. Now we'll continue over in this direction. Before we go too far, I'm just going to put a ladder here. So, actually there's oxygen in here right now, but if there's not later on, there'll be a quicker way to get up to where there's oxygen rather than coming in over here. There we go. We're starting to get this area filled in. We'll create 2 vacuum tiles here and here. Here and here. Put that up. And dig that. Actually, I'm going to do this just because I'd like to get the metal. In fact, hold on. Let's go down here just before I lose access to this easily. And then we'll fill this back in. Oh. Which means probably want a bin here to store some of that on this side. Starting to fish all this aluminum ore out before we go in. Awesome. So that is that. Let's put this in. I may be lucky here being able to build this tile without any pips trapped underneath. Nice. Okay, that's a bit of good news. We're going to start to replace this just in case that sometimes water leaks through dirt. Allowing us to do that. So we may have it. I'm just starting my double check right now that we actually don't have a piece of vacuum missing from end to end. Maybe a little piece of carbon dioxide. But I say our insulation project has been complete. So now we are starting our hydrogen project, which gets us to go up in this direction. That extra digging skill will help a little bit. Stairway going up. Till we get up here, we can access a new pump location a little bit higher up, which will allow me to get rid of the hydrogen here so we can explore. Oh, and I'm going to put in that so we can get through. Now, as I make the way up, actually we should do this, just because there's... Well, there's also polluted oxygen. I don't know if that's the best. Maybe temporarily. Well, very temporarily. That's also going to let this guy put more and more, maybe. Maybe not. Just don't want to have popped eardrums. Just going to open this area for oxygen flow to come up a little bit better. Make construction up there a little bit easier. Making sure that liquid doesn't fall on us, though. Open this up just for the airflow. I think I'm going to research advanced automation. I know I don't have a lot of metal to use, but a little piece of detecting hydrogen here will do me a lot of good. I'm going to do that before this area fills up with hydrogen, but we're almost ready to knock that over. Just a little bit of research time needed. since I'm doing research and I want to look at some geysers, we're going to do field research as our next skill. It looks like cycle 66 and Dupe's looking a little green. But I think he'll survive. Probably. Oh, I never got rid of my outhouses. Maybe time to do that. So I'm just going to put in our second storage of hydrogen right there. At least for now. And a little bit of... Looks like we had enough metal to complete this. That's going to make a big difference. Get this guy to go up into here for now. And go from here to here. Needing a regular tile right there. Installing a little bit of automation. Let's put in a setting here. Just pause that because that's getting really low. But we're going to look for hydrogen. And I'll set maybe 120 on that. Let's come down here. Okay, let's stop. Take that out. We can even get rid of that pump now. Open up this. Oh, hold on. Let's make a priority of getting this done. Oh, that didn't work. Let's get that done first before we dig that out. I said, let's build that before we dig that out. There we go. And we've got this area opened up. Just have to remind myself to connect the wire and the pipe. Can open this up just for hydrogen to flow up better. Take that out too. Starting to dig this direction just to allow this hydrogen to escape. Okay, so we've got that. I think that is our hydrogen project. Let's start exploring some geysers. So next project is to look at geysers. Might as well start here. This geyser sitting. What is it? Alright, a dormant saltwater geyser, which is pretty much the same thing as that. That's going to be a lot of hot liquid. I already blocked this guy off, so probably not going to do anything with this. So from this geyser, we're now going over this direction. So we can see what is in here. Just about to see polluted water vent. Okay, that one is a little bit more useful. We'll come back to that. We'll look at the other one quickly. Alright, so just getting this message here from the Red Argo saying that I never knew this. So I'll just redo it. But if I click on this, and then I make this a high priority, or the top priority, and I click on this, I can actually find out what that geyser is without even digging it. And so this is clearly a cool slush geyser. So that is definitely going to be useful. Let's make sure we're off the yellow alert. How do we... Now we're... Okay, we'll make a path over here. We'll at least get towards that. The only thing is, I'm in this yellow alert stage. How do I shake that? Huh. Alright, I've got to play around with this, maybe. So, just clearing the priority here took our yellow alert away. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, before we go in too far, I'd like to get a deodorizer. Because a lot of polluted water is going to make a lot of polluted oxygen, I'm figuring. Snack fruit. I don't think that was on this asteroid. Is our research going for decontamination? So here is the plan. We're going to dig underneath this while it's dry. Make a little bridge here. Make sure we've got the ability to convert polluted oxygen to oxygen. And then once I think this is big enough, we'll open this thing up and see if it's active or not. So here is my plan. I think I'm going to have this area dug out, and we'll let this vent. Seal this up though first, and then I can do some digging underneath to expand it, hopefully while staying dry. Well, my plan of staying dry did not work. Not for the polluted water, but from the fact that the salt is letting some liquid through. So let's see, what is local? Get some granite. Fill that in right there, high priority, and interrupt myself. Shoot. Okay. We might be doing a little bit mopping up in the morning. Cycle 73, starting off with a little bit of mopping up. And we'll make this wall right around here. Getting the option for a little bit of excellent fruit, so definitely going to grab that. Starting our wall. Let's not build on this side. Okay, nice. And now I can do this. Now, I don't think we're having any issues with liquid falling on us. This guy is idle, so we should be outputting some liquid here in a little bit. Oh. Do that. There we go. Good. Otherwise, we'd have to do a little bit more mopping. Do that. Pip, if you could not be in this zone. Just fighting him with Pips. Hey, nice. And we've got our cool slush geyser going. Just thinking. This guy's dormant, right? I might as well analyze it. I never even thought. Do that while, or maybe we'll make a path like this just so that I don't have to walk through the hydrogen. But we're getting, for the first time, well, I shouldn't say for the first time we had a saltwater geyser, but we're getting liquid for the first time in a while. Nice, cool liquid. Awesome. Opening up this geyser. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click Analyze. And the Analyze process has started. I don't know if that's going to be too low of an oxygen area. Let's see what happens over a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, let's open this up. Do that at higher priority before we continue on. Nearly complete this process. Awesome. So let's take this data bank, or set of data banks anyways. We'll throw them over here. And just move myself around to do that so we can seal this off before it goes off. Awesome. Just do, or we could just do that actually. Sandstone. I'm pretty certain I have. Yeah, I definitely saw that. Okay, so there's that guy done. Let's go over here next. Opening up this guy. And just so we don't get too much carbon dioxide, won't we do this for now? Just get that oxygen in there. let's get this guy analyzed. I think I'm going to, yeah, let's give out more carrying ability so we can carry stuff around a little bit easier. And here is cycle 80. Showers to use, just double check our water line. Excellent. Sealing this up, so that will be whenever it becomes, actually we can figure out when it's going to be active. 25 cycles because we analyzed it. Check this guy out, though I don't really want the liquid from that necessarily. And maybe we'll wait for this guy to become dormant before we try to analyze that. But I think what we'll do now is dig underneath this just to have room for new liquid. And I just realized this pump here is finally empty. So that is, that means as long as I can guarantee that we just, let's check the last little bit. Yeah. Oh, this is trying to get out too. Okay, so we can get rid of this guy. No longer in a situation of needing to filter, which is nice. We can take that out. We can start to consume this. We can do that. And do that. Awesome, there we go. And this is controlling that. So hopefully no more hydrogen towards my, or oxygen rather, towards my hydrogen generator. Opened up this path. Actually, maybe we'll make that a bit taller just to get the oxygen in. Okay, so with our pump in place, let's take this and the seeds would be good to grab. Oops, don't plant anything, please. Should have really just done this to keep them out. Well, too late now. Just removing some of the seeds here. Having them stored where pips cannot access. Figured that'd be smart to do that before this gets filled in. I think we can now knock this over. And we've got tons of room for this guy to output. Just realizing the pips have planted down there. Well, just watching this silly dupe go down here to pick up their sand. Let's put in a door so we can control when we want to go in here and when we don't. So that is our geyser project. Just before I move on to the next project, I'm just going to do a little bit of automation down here. So we can automatically start pumping in or out some carbon dioxide as it's needed. I see rotten lettuce. Let's kick that out of there. Clean the air in here. Just going to build this tile just before I dig that out. Excellent. Maybe we'll get across. Slowly start filling in down here just to push that water up. And then I think we're ready for our next project. The next project I have is doing some water engineering. I'd like to remove all this liquid with the idea of being able to do some pip planting. But before we completely seal this off, let's put a pump in there so we can access some of that. Digging out in this way. So this is where we get drenched. Maybe we, actually, yeah, let's do that last little bit there. Oh, I wonder if, I don't think that's going to fill. Let's just do this just to be safe. I don't think that's going to actually fill up that much. More liquid out there, good. We'll approach maybe this direction next. Oh, and we are exposed to space, so maybe the priority should be addressing that by filling in a tile right here urgently, and including all the ladders to urgently get up at that. Some meteorites coming in. Smash. Here we are. We plugged that up. Liquid in there too. Now we have all that liquid flowing down, allowing me to do some pip planting. So we've got that blocked off to prevent pips from coming in until I'm ready. I'll just open this up a little bit more. Oxygen's starting to make its way in. If those guys lay anything, it will be a little bit dangerous, so I like to have this guy here, the automatic dispenser. So time for some research. Let's put a little storage spot for these critters. Plant it there. Okay, so let's go down to critter egg, and we'll go to the poke shell and high priority. That way, if these guys ever lay an egg, they'll be taken away pretty quickly, so they'll not become dangerous to me, which would not be good. Cycle 99. Just planning to bring a pip over in this. One dupe can celebrate surviving 100 cycles in this little asteroid. What I'm trying to do is seeing if we can get a few seeds in this bin. Maybe seal off this area, open this door, and see if we can convince a pip to come in without having to give the skill of branching. So slightly regretting not doing this earlier, but let's make a priority of getting this little section done, because the hydrogen is only going to get worse from here. I mean, I still have more I can dig out, but we are almost at 2.5 tons. Maybe I'll just make a path of digging some right there. Let's see about opening this door. We'll see if we can open this door too. See if I put in some waterweed, whether this will bring in some pips. So we're going to put this in place. Pips don't like to get wet. They can jump over the pitcher pump. hopefully will make their way. Oh, the door open. Let's make that a higher priority. No pollution exposure, probably due to this polluted dirt. We'll at least aim to clean the air or convert polluted oxygen to regular oxygen. Let's see if that can convince. Okay, seem to be. Let's just check the lettuce. Sterile environment. There we go. Okay. Pips, can you go updoors? I think you must be able to. There we go. Just come this way. Come this way. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Awesome. Let's make this a 9. See if we can lock or auto that. Not what I want you to plant, but if that convinced you to go in there, hey. Oh no. Stay in. We're in. Probably showering. Oh no. We're sleeping because of the stress. Ooh. Ooh. Yep, go. Oh no, we lost our opportunity. Shoot. Well, he'll be back. Trying to lock in this. Oh. Yep, on the side, please. Take a step. No, wrong way, wrong way. No, no. You got a Pip in here. Awesome. We'll get rid of that now. And we've got 3 waterweed seeds planted. We need to throw in some liquid, but we can do that later on. In progress here. Let's just see if we, yeah, spot. Put that in. So while that Pip starts doing some planting, we'll work on the next. In fact, probably not going to happen, but maybe I could try to trap this guy. And no, I guess he can come in later. Oh no, that's not what I want you to do, Pip. Get down like over here. Awesome. So that floor is complete. What I could do is just seal this up, and instead of getting a different Pip in here, maybe just open up this, let this Pip down. This is the first time in a long time getting this low on calories, so we're gonna take the labor cost and at least harvest on one of these guys. I think that should be my oh no, they're not. They need to be. Oh, did that produce lettuce? Get a little bit less. I wonder. I should probably be dropping off some liquids sooner than later so we can get some of these growing. Let's do that. That will be the priority. But maybe try to make that as a wall so we can get that Pip out of here. Open this up, hopefully getting this Pip to come down soon. Maybe we could even do this. See if that Pip will come up. We'll put some waterweed in here, 12 pieces. And why don't we've got some water, well, it's not waterweed, nor is that. We'll get in a little path here maybe. Just trying to avoid getting my feet wet if I can. You know what? Don't worry about it. Let's just mop that up. We have access to this, so let's start the process. Loading in salt water, enable auto bottle. Make that that's definitely going to be the priority. Because we've got all these plants that could start to grow. Fortunately, that Pip beat me over there. Oh! Okay, shoot, we lost our Pip. Where'd he go? Where did that Pip go? Okay, there's the Pip there. Let's open this door. Make that a 9. Try to get a Pip in here. We are starting to grow some of these water weeds over here. Awesome. Okay, we trapped 1 Pip in. We're going to be able to get another Pip because I see this Pip got themselves buried. Whew. The other thing is, yeah, brilliant idea here. If I mop this up, I was kind of disappointed that I have this all growing at the same time, but I can pause the growth of these 3. Let's just make that a priority. And kind of work it out such, yeah, and then I can add it in water when I want to start this off. So we don't need this anymore. All our seeds are in the room. Take that out, take that out. Let's put in that. Oh, whoa, forgot. Pip, Mr. Pip. Okay, let's take this out. Yeah, so now we got two Pips in the room. Let's make that, fill that up. The other thing is, let's go across like this. There. There. That all low. Take that away. Fill that in. Hold on, I don't actually need you to build that. Need to do just a quick calculation here. So about you thank you, you've already done it. About a 12 to 16 would be a good range to stagger them. Okay, so awesome. Thank you for that. So yeah, we're at 4, so we would want to wait a little bit longer. Okay, good. And I could technically even put bottles of water, so instead of putting a bottle emptier over each one, I could do it that way, but I don't know. Maybe that's just unnecessary. Oh, and we're not going to get anywhere. It just occurred to me because we've got all these plants underneath. So let's do this. Let's block that off so that we do not have Pips coming in anymore. These silly Pips. All right, 22% stress, so I'm not too worried if I go down. Maybe we'll start with a mop up first, and then take out plants. Oh, and you are angry. Let's just leave you up there. And we are on progress down here. Awesome. So now that we're making progress over here, let's just take this out so the pips can go on. I'm a little bit concerned about ears popping when we go in here, so figure we'll throw a little bit of water on top. Just connect that. That can come from here. Decided just to use some of this salt water, just because this is, well, if I put in water and this becomes below freezing, it turn to ice and we just lose it anyways, so we'll let that drain in. Just curious if these pips are just obsessing over this seed. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, that's cool. So I've got this growing at 11%, so we're getting this little waterweed growing now. Just gonna pick up some bottles that I've already filled up. I guess the only thing is some of them are really, really small. I'll just kind of load them where I can open them later. Okay, and let's watch some salt waterfall on here. Oh! No, that's not going to work. What am I... Right, so salt water not working out so good. We will just use normal water. I don't think this is actually going to freeze anyway. And actually, I plan to put in a metal refinery that's going to take in... Yes, I don't think freezing is going to be our issue. I don't want to send too much water in there. But this is going to require me... I wonder if I should have actually just done this. Temporarily. Make sure I restore that afterwards. Alright, so now we got water flowing in. Let's watch this. There we are. A little bit of carbon dioxide at the end. Let's go above 200. Hopefully that's necessary. Yeah, let's just. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Let's just make sure I restore this. Like this. So we'll start our smelting research. So far we've got 19, 11, and then 0 over here. Nice. We can take that out, and we can take that out. Let's not add any more salt water. And just with restoring that bridge and having this drop-off spot, I guess we don't need the wire. This guy's already, I think, snuck away with... Okay, this is a dangerous situation. Let's make this is like a priority, maybe an 8. Pick up that egg and get out of there. Okay, so even though I'm picking up the egg, they're still protecting. And we're good. Okay. Let's make sure nothing gets messed up in this process. Their eggs are now being stored over here. Okay, good. Also see some stinky air, so why don't we do that? So now that we get the metal refinery research, realizing this should be higher. A little bit of stinky air. I think that's been kind of blocked off for the most part. We're going to clean it up, and I'd like to drop this guy off. Don't want him next to my barracks. Cycle 131, and the plan is just to go crazy digging every piece of aluminum ore that I can get my hands on, just so we can get a count for the amount of metal. I can decide if automating mech-eng is going to be a possibility for me or not. I'm just aiming to get rid of this polluted water. Or at least send it down here. Just so that we can get access to all this aluminum ore. Oh no. Oh no. I just made a mess. And in particular, polluted water is just filling up on my fridge. Fantastic. So first action I'm doing is getting a bunch of lettuce to be brought down here. Let's change the schedule. I am about to go on break. Let's change that. So we can at least, if nothing else, move some lettuce. Oh, please don't. Alright. And at least a little bit of lettuce is on the move. There's a piece there that's 12%. That's... Well, I guess there was absolutely no point of this whole setup. Let's see, what do you got for me? Oh, either of those. That would be awesome if I had seen one before. Or let's just build a wall right here. Maybe not that big of a wall. Or I let any more liquid down. I probably should have just done that since the... I don't know. Okay. Just putting that wall together and let's smash this out. At this point, we might as well just do this. Oh, hold on. We lost our nature reserve, but let's just build that back. And at least now I can access all the aluminum ore. Well, we get polluted water at the bottom of the base. Now we have to do a big mop up around the base. Fortunately, we'll, oh, no, we're good. Was he mopping up in between? Oh, okay, he's still working for a bit. Oh, right, I changed my schedule. Big, massive mop task coming. And we racked up 64% stress. I don't think mopping up is, a great idea. Maybe we'll just try cleaning the air. So I think I'm just going to live largely with the polluted water that's there for now. Stress is too high to mop. Let's just do some mining. So now that I've dug out just about all the aluminum ore, I'm fine, except, oh, I guess there's this little thing, but it's not going to make a big difference. Maybe we get 12 tons. So I don't think my goal of automating moving lettuce from here over is probably going to happen until I get more metal from different asteroids. So we'll start activating teleportation equipment. Realizing we've got to fix this fridge. We've got lettuce sitting in liquid, and that Pip is... Yeah. Okay, we're going to take this out just so we can kind of change this up a bit. Okay, this got a little bit of complicated due to some spilled water, but there, we got that. Let's put, rebuild this so we can get some carbon dioxide up there really, really soon. A little bit of carbon dioxide we will put in our lettuce. Actually, let's just put anything edible. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that has been quite the process. Let's just check over here. We're at 6%. I'll look at expanding that next time. Well, I think that will do it for today. I think I'll be streaming quite a bit of this series this weekend if you want to join me on Jir Oxygen at Twitch. Otherwise, I'll probably have a highlight video either on Sunday or Monday at some point, seeing how I go from here. So cycle 141. Calories are low, but we just reset our fridge environment. We have this area growing our own our food without any labor. A little bit of lettuce being added there. Metal refinery is going to be a bit of an issue because, well, we've got a lack of metal ore to go into it. Though we've got nice, cool liquid coming from over here. I never actually went over here. Oh, nearly full with this. Awesome. So water, clearly not the problem. I think next time the big focus will be on teleportation and trying to survive on a different asteroid, collecting metal and other resources. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully see you next time.